Hello, hello, hello. Today is April 1st, 2024, and I've been pretty scared to make this video for quite a bit, but as you can see by the title, I am talking about why I've decided to, become or even just rejoin conservatism, become a conservative. Really, at the end of the day, as you know, I listen to people like Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson and Russell Brand and all those guys. I'm just so tired of the woke left, and it's incessant, and they're just ruining traditional American values. No. I'm kidding. I can't even keep that joke going for it was probably like 60 seconds. Happy April Fools. I gotcha. No, in fact, today I'm going to be talking about quite the opposite. There was a good amount of people that saw one of my recent journals. It kind of gained a little bit of traction, and so there's a few new people to the channel, and so I'm going to explain a little bit about myself. Hi. No, I actually did used to be a conservative. There's some older videos where I exposed myself, like a photo of me in a MAGA shirt and hat, and also talk about like sort of going to Trump rallies even. Well, one. But yeah, why did I make that change? Well, I think the main thing is, for me, the rigidity in conservatism is a bit too much. The sort of the ability to, or more so the inability to not understand that the left isn't coming after the right. It's just fighting for things. I know that's very nuanced, but that's sort of the main thing is what I saw was that the left was trying to build a more tolerant country. It was trying to equivocate some things, and I saw that the right wasn't really doing that. That's the main thing. In terms of other things, I think there was a huge ideological shift in my mind when it comes to economics. At this moment in time, I'm not entirely sure like where I land and what I'd call myself economically, but I do know that trickle down economics, neoliberalism is a no-go for me. I'm not a fan, and I think most politicians are still more or less neoliberal, but the left has people like Bernie Sanders and AOC and Elizabeth Warren, who I think represent sort of what I want more, which isn't necessarily even like a full-blown socialist thing. It's more so, let's look at Europe, see what they've been doing. Can we apply some of it here? That's sort of my main thing. Sorry, I'm still sniffling and it's upside down, but I don't know if you could tell. It's raining. Yeah, those are the two main things. There's also some other things. I obviously have talked about this before too, but I left the Christian church. I don't really think that the Christian God exists. I know that's a big proclamation from someone so insignificant, but nevertheless, that's where I stand. No, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not like a diehard leftist, and I don't fall, like, if you listed out every leftist position, I would disagree with many. But I think that the way that the Conservative Party has moved, I just can't align with it anymore. It's not like the Tea Party anymore, not even close. It's really Donald Trump's party, and it's just not my cup of tea. I can appreciate some of the things that Trump wants, tearing down bureaucracy and all that, but that is extremely nuanced. We do need bureaucracy in some situations, and he's also a bit of an isolationist, which, as I take a detailed look in American history, it is sort of like you can see where he's coming from in the sense of like, let's just get our hands out of stuff. But at the same time, I do think that there are some threats in the world, and we should be weary of those. So there's like a very, very brief 10,000 foot view of where I stand. Really just felt cool to capitalize on April Fool's Day. One of my buddies did tell me to like do this one time, so here it is. Yeah, I just think that under capitalism, it becomes a situation where, like, we're obsessed with certain shows like Game of Thrones or Shogun because we have this longing to want to know what it's really like to be on the side of capital. And under capitalism, it's very hard to be visible in such a way that the power players in Game of Thrones or Shogun are. I might sort of try and build out that idea in a future video, but hopefully you see what I mean. Power to the people at the end of the day, you know. I really did get into 60s stuff, and while I'm not into all of the 60s ideas, I just appreciate a lot of what was going on in the sense of understanding that we're all human beings. That's really my main thing, and I don't see it from the right. And while the left doesn't do it all the time, that's just, I think going with the left adds to a greater potential for all of us to understand that one day. So yeah, in terms of how today is going, so far I've just gone to class. I'm about to head back home now and go to the gym. I'm not really sure what the rest of my day holds for me. I've mentioned towards the back end of, I think, the last 2 journals, or maybe even 3, there are some things bubbling up in my life right now, but until they're truly cemented, I don't really want to talk about them. They're personal at the end of the day. But they do have me feeling down at some points, but also at other points, I can't lie, they have me with like a chip on my shoulder and wanting to, you know, make positive changes in my life, I suppose, and just become a better person, physically, mentally, financially, any of those things. Because while I do critique capitalism, I really am a firm believer in, you know, not letting critiques of capitalism just languish you, I think is the right word, and make your existence here worse. We have to find ways to survive, even if it is a situation we don't want to be in, and also recognize that, you know, you don't live in South Sudan or Somalia or something like that. And if you are watching this video from one of those countries, I'd really be interested to talk to you. But yeah, that probably does it for me. I can't really think of anything else I'd like to discuss at the moment. My second class of the day is just, I really, really dislike it. It's this professor who's young, so I think they probably don't have tenure yet, and so I can understand that, like, they're trying to do things by the book in that way, but man, it is quite dull. And before they start the lecture, they go on this like 10-minute introduction of what we're going to be talking about today in the class, and it's like, just start talking. That's really my main thing, because you have to get through those first 10 minutes before you get to the content of the class itself. And they also try to conjure up lots of group work, which, you know, it's college, it's school, it's gonna happen, but the way that they do it, no one gets excited for it. It's just no bueno. I don't know, the class itself is very vague as well. It's called Topics in Political Theory, and it's taking a look at, like, the culture war and identity and all that stuff, which, like, yeah, it's sort of interesting, but I don't know, since it's so touchy-feely, the professor does a good job of not coming down on one side or another, I suppose, but it's just all becomes so vague and dull. Anyways, that was my little vent about that class. Now I'm really gonna let y'all go. It's Monday, so hopefully the start of your week is going well. The weather outside, gray and rainy, kind of reflects how I am right now, but you can still enjoy the rain sometimes. Yeah. Peace and love.